Yeah, I can go next. That's fine.
Go for it.
Tim, your cam's still on, by the way.
I know.
Okay.
I want that part on at least.
Okay. So, I was just thinking the other day, and I wrote it down on my list of things to talk about at some point. Just overall bad experiences you've had at restaurants before. And this all stems from a story. I was at the Mall of America one time, and I went out to eat with my cousin. I forget the name of the restaurant there, but they had a bison burger. And I'm like, oh, that's going to be awesome. Like, I love bison burgers, right? When I got it, it tasted great. But it was clearly a frozen patty, and I know this because I was eating it. I ate half of it, and it was cooked. It was good. Like, it was all fine. I took a bite of another part, and it was completely raw, like, on the other side. Like, half of it was perfectly cooked, and the other half was raw. And I took a bite, and it was cold, and, like, just, like, still... It felt like it was right out of the fridge. And I looked, and it was just disgusting. I'm like, this is so gross. And so I'm kind of wondering, have you guys ever had just something that just made you feel disgusting at a restaurant like that? Like, just eating a raw burger without realizing it? Like, it's just... Has there ever been a moment where you're like, okay, this food is so incredibly bad, like, I don't want to go back here now? Because it tasted great until that point, but now I almost feel like I can't go back to that restaurant.
I don't know if I've had one of those. It's anytime that I've had a bad experience at a restaurant, it's more because of service.
I was going to say service.
Yeah, service
That's what's
is bad.
gotten me more than anything.
Okay. Now, what about that time we went to Buffalo Wild Wings and it was boneless only? That was pretty bad, too.
That was a wonderful time. I
It
don't
was
know
a great
what you're
time.
talking
It was pretty
about.
bad.
I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah, what's up with you, Jordan?
Cheap nugs.
Yeah, you got to pay $3 more for your chicken wings.
You're
there?
gosh darn right, I paid
No.
$3 more
No.
that day.
You're just nope. Just pay your $11 for your.
Nope. No, so
If you consider that a bad restaurant experience, you're just petty and you won't give it up.
I mean, I still ate food,
You
but I
know what we're
paid
talking
$3.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want him to admit it.
No.
Yeah.
I am a purist, as Dan said. But anyways, I've had just like a few things like that, you know, like with the raw food, or like where something comes out and it's just burnt to a crisp. And I'm like, there's a few things where it's like, why would you let this leave your kitchen? You know, and I know you've worked at a restaurant, so you might have some insight or something.
A pizza joint.
I mean, I was going to go with
I've
like
worked
the
there
other
too.
side of like my worst time working in restaurant, but if you wanted me to go forward with that, as for letting a raw burger go, I have no idea why that would happen.
Well, see, because the outside, it looked like it was done. The middle was still completely raw. So, like, the outside was almost the same color, and I ate half of it, and the inside was perfectly done. But what happened is it was frozen, and it was only on half the grill, right? So, like, it was only getting cooked on that one half. And it just...
So they didn't turn on part of the grill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Was it a busy day? Like, was there...
Not really.
I was going to say,
I
if
mean,
they were
it's-
like churning out a bunch and you just happened to get the
mean,
one that got
it was-
forgotten.
there
It's still a
quite a
mistake. It's
few-
still uncalled.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't... You shouldn't do that, but
can't.
it's an excuse still. It's not a
I
good
think he was going to say
excuse.
it's uncalled for, and he just
I did.
didn't.
I stopped.
I know. I heard you. I was like, hey, that's the name of the show. So it's just, I don't know, man, because it wasn't a busy day. We went during an off hour even. Like, it was, I think, 3:30 when we walked in. Like, you know, 3:15, 3:30. Like, it wasn't a busy time.
It wasn't
for
lunch
restaurant.
rush.
It wasn't the lunch rush, and it wasn't supper time either. So, I
Yeah.
mean, we were just there for, you know, just in between, I guess. So you'd think that they'd have things ready to go, or like they think they take their time. English is hard sometimes.
Words are hard.
Especially
Yeah.
when you can't read.
Yeah.
I can read
Really?
sometimes.
Can I get some proof of this?
Daysani.
Sponsor us.
Hey,
Sponsor?
sponsor us, please.
Yes, sponsor.
No, I just
And we just got in trouble. Thanks, Jordan.
Copyright infringement. This video's off.
But no, I guess the reason why this was brought up, though, is I was thinking like bad food experiences, you know, like burnt food, like whatever. And that was one that brought up. But there was a restaurant, and I'm not gonna say the name of it. There's a local place. It's new, just started up this year. It's a pizza place,
Okay.
and their pictures of their pizza on Facebook are atrocious. Like, I've never seen more disgusting looking pizza in my life.
You mean the one that like showed up like literally 2 weeks ago?
No, this
No.
one's down on the strip.
No.
okay.
No, Portside's awesome. I
Oh,
love,
okay,
I
I
love
thought that's-
Portside. I will never say anything bad about them. I love
The
their
one that
food.
just took over a decent
one
hamburger
is-
place?
not too far from there at a marina.
I'm not sure.
You
I'm not
don't
sure
know.
about this one.
Okay. Anyways,
The one that took over Duke's?
No,
No.
that's Okoboji Doke.
no,
Company.
yeah,
That
I
looks
talked
good.
about it on stream. So PK is like the one with the off-center logo. That's absolutely it. I'm just gonna show you guys some of their pizza though, because like honestly, it was bad, dude. I'm not gonna like show their name. But look, all right, as a graphic designer, that's off-center. That has to drive you absolutely up the wall. Insane. How their logo's not centered in the
it's
circle.
Not
look,
much
I
is
don't
good
even
about
see
it
it.
at all.
does this
so.
look good to you? Does that pizza look good at all? Because to me, this looks
No,
atrocious.
that's terrible.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's even gonna show up. Like it looks.
Wait, what's the? I was just trying to see what the
They
restaurant was.
didn't. They didn't like put it in a nice circle. They just like just.
Never heard of that place.
It's
It's a great name, but
it's a great name, and it's down at the marina on the other side of the bridge.
Wait, how many people?
Interesting.
How many people like that? Was it like 15?
Oh,
Oh
what
no,
does
I
it
didn't
say?
say that. Oh,
anyway.
If they
Oh,
need a better logo, they
423.
can call me.
Yeah, but anyways, I
You
saw
spend 20
that. I was
minutes to make
instantly
something better
thinking
than
just bad food experiences. What's your guys' worst ones? Because I really want to know.
well, I'll go first. There's two I have. So this local restaurant joint back in Estville had all you can eat fish. So I'm like, okay, $15 is not a bad deal. So I got it.
What,
Worst
what
decision
time?
in my
What
life.
time of year was this, Nick?
This was during Lent, probably.
Can
Stop!
we just
Stop! We're not going there, guys. We're not going there.
can we just talk about the fact that you went to a restaurant in Iowa in the
Hold
middle of
on.
the United States and expected to get good fresh fish?
Hey,
You can get some good fish around
no,
here.
No.
You can get
Hold
good
on.
fish.
Okay, guys, let's
Just
listen.
not.
But here it is. Okay, so I get three nice fillets come out right away. I'm like, okay, this is good. So I order another one. It took them like 30 minutes to give me the most burnt, crisp breading fish ever. You ate it and it was like charcoal. And I was like, this is stupid. Like, what? Yes, I get that the restaurant was busy, but at the same time, it's like you just don't do that.
Quality control.
Yeah. And also,
I think I know what
they
restaurant
they
this
also
is.
say limited supplies only,
There's only
and it's
one
like,
answer.
do you understand that you're in like a busy city that you could possibly make a
City?
lot of money on? Well, it is a
From
city.
where he came from.
Esterville's
Yeah,
busy
I came
to
from
you?
a town of like 800 people. This is pretty big. Okay,
Real
guys?
Iowa?
Yeah, real Iowa.
Gotcha.
But anyways, you expect like better like food, like maybe like two slices or
That
Place.
place, just so you know, has literally one grill about this size.
yeah. But anyways,
Mistakes were made.
I can't even think about where that would be.
This is the one
Mothers.
by my parents' house. Oh,
Yeah.
is my, oh, I was
But
thinking.
then-
I was thinking VFW,
and then
but
this was another one. Me and Weston
Yes, we live in fake Iowa.
were
We
Fake
do.
Iowa.
Nick is from real Iowa.
yeah,
Apparently.
real Iowa. But me and Weston, we were eating at that same restaurant. What? How many people were in that restaurant? 15 people at tops?
Oh,
maybe?
not even that many.
Maybe 10. And so waitress came over. We get our waters. Okay, we're getting good service. I'm out of my water. She doesn't even come in, comes back and get our order in, like 10, 15 minutes? And we sat there, and, like, me and Weston were like, do we need to, like, go up and, like, tell her our order? Like, it was getting ridiculous. And then she finally does it, gets our order, and we wait, like, another, like, 30 minutes, and we're like, what is going on? There's, like, nothing. There's nobody here.
This reminds me of something to talk about when you're done.
But, yeah, it's just...
You had
And
your
then
shot.
that was the
stupid.
last time she
Yeah.
stopped by our
Yeah,
table.
she didn't
like,
stop- yeah.
We had to go up to find them to pay.
Yeah, it was, stupid.
She didn't stop by at all, and she sat at somebody else's table.
Yeah,
and
and
just chatted with
yeah,
them.
chat with
hometown
them.
Iowa restaurant. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that happens.
That happens,
But
should
usually,
know
if you're
that
doing
one.
that, you should be like at least
That
yelling
happens
from the
there
other table.
at the bar when they sit with people that are drinking.
You guys
Yeah.
good?
Like waitress, like, and that's the same
And they
place
just
that
talk.
waitresses are
I'm like,
drinking with the people at
I'm
the bar,
actually
which is
paying
not
for stuff
no.
here. Come on.
Yeah. So that reminds me, there's a place up near
Tim's got
Minneapolis.
the hands.
Yes.
Up near Minneapolis that I went to with my cousin one time. There was a sign when you walked in. It said, "Please seat yourself," which means when you go sit down, somebody should come to your table. Correct?
Yeah,
Usually.
Okay. So my cousin and I walked in. We sat down, and we had 4 different employees, 4 different waiters and waitresses just stare at us. Just stare. I'm like, it is 6:30. And this place was almost empty. Like there was 3 other tables in the whole restaurant that people were eating at, and these people just stared at us We sat there for 25 minutes. I even tried to like call someone over, and they just looked away. And so we sat there for
You said, "I wanna do
25
the
minutes
job."
before we just got up and we went somewhere else because I was like, "This is ridiculous! Like, how do you do this?"
It's just people. There's just some bad.
I'm
people
trying
in
to
this
come up
world.
with something that Jordan did wrong in that situation. I'm still thinking.
'Cause I didn't do anything wrong. I went and sat down when it said,
Yeah.
"Please seat yourself."
I don't
How
know
many
if I
waiters
believe
were
that.
there? Those 3?
There was 4 that I counted just staring
And
at
how
us.
many other tables were there?
3.
Dang it. I was going to be like, they each all already had a table. They were busy.
No, we
I
were
know, they
we
each
were
had
the
a different
4th.
person.
Yeah.
We
They
would
were
have been
busy.
the 4th for the 4.
They were just intimidated by such a huge man.
It's true.
Yep.
I don't think that's
They're
it.
like, we don't have enough food.
We can't serve him. Are you kidding
If he
me?
calls us over, just walk away. And act
Well,
like
I
you
even
don't
tried
know
like
him.
waving someone over, and the waiter
Imagine
legitimately.
you like catcalling them.
Don't snap. Don't do that. They don't like that. Yeah, the snap. Yeah, don't do the snapping either. They don't
Wait,
like
ah!
that.
Wait okay.
You might get some.
I'm curious about
Loogies in your
Weston's bad one. If it's other than Nick's.
And then there's one other one that I want to just
Oh.
throw out here really quick before we go on to his, because I just thought of this one as well. It's
course.
where Los Pueblos was at, or is at now. What used to be years ago was a Mexican buffet, and I don't know if it was the same owners. I doubt it, but either way, we went and got food. In the center of the trays, it weren't even hot. Like the enchiladas and stuff were still frozen in the middle. And I'm like, why would you put this out on your all-you-can-eat buffet and it's frozen solid or just ice cold? So we got our money back and we left. But that was another time where I'm like, this is not good. You guys have to have
Cool
something
story, bro.
similar. Okay, you know.
Violence?
So, come on, Jordan, calm down.
Easy now. Do we have to ban you? Do we have to
Alright.
mute your mic?
So, I actually have a couple experiences that weren't exactly.
God,
I approve. I approve.
I approve too.
He's like a cat.
that was so cold. Why would you do
I
that?
approve, Dan. I approve.
I don't know what
I
you're
was going to
talking
say, hopefully
about.
my
What are
camera
you
didn't
doing,
cover it too
Jordan?
much.
That was so cold.
What are you doing, Jordan? I don't know what are you talking about?
All right, so one experience that I had was actually down in Waterloo. It was not very good because we walked in.
Was your
first
food
off-
super wet? A
That
lot
was
of
just
water?
stupid.
Jordan, what,
That
what
was
was
actually-
that? Jordan,
Okay, you guys have heard some of my bad puns. That was bad. Okay.
This whole episode is just make fun of Jordan, isn't it?
You deserve that.
because you deserve it.
yeah.
But regardless, so we walked in, we waited, and we waited. It said wait to be seated. So we waited. People walked by, kind of like what yours were. Finally, somebody came over and seated us. They brought us waters. Then somebody else came over and said, yeah, we don't have enough food for you guys. And like we were all bigger guys. And then like other people came in and they seated them and they were getting food. That was like insulting on a deep level.
Are you
okay?
sure you went to a restaurant that they like?
You could have sued him for that.
Yeah.
For
Do
yeah,
you know
you
what
could have
that
got money for
reminds me
that.
of? The diner in Esterville, I forget the name of it. We went
Buds?
there. Yeah, we went there one morning.
Don't you talk bad about Buds.
Yeah.
No, I loved it. This place was awesome. The waitresses were hilarious. They were joking around with all of us. But the lady brings over a pan full of cinnamon rolls, and she's like, all right, who here at the table wants a cinnamon roll? She's like, you? Like, people are raising their hands. It's like, I want one. And she looks at me and she goes, I know you want one already, so I'm not even going to bother asking. And then
That sounds like Diane already.
and then it hit the point where she's like, all right, now who needs a box? And she's like, she looks at me and she goes, clearly you're not going to need one. I can tell you're going to finish that. And I'm like, I just got called fat by this lady twice, dude.
It's Buds.
She
I loved
actually,
it.
she ordered you a belly buster. You didn't even ask for it.
Dude, that place was awesome. I want to go back. Like the
good.
waitresses are so like mean, but they're mean in a nice, fun way, you know. And
They're overall nice to me.
like it was
they like
funny
me.
because we were
So-
giving it back. I mean, to be fair, we were throwing crap back at them, but it was
yeah.
just a fun time.
Why would you
This
throw crap?
individual was not
You.
doing this in a nice way for us.
They were just
so
being mean.
They
They're
were
like,
just- they
screw
were
you,
just
fatty.
mean.
Well, it is Waterloo, so
You're not wrong. And then
That's true.
I remember there was another time a very similar group of us went into an all-you-can-eat buffet, and they asked us to leave because apparently we ate too much.
That sounds like something that happened to me. I'm not gonna lie. I can
So-
see that.
Can they
happening.
do that?
no.
I didn't think they could, but
Like, if you paid
they
for
came
it?
over and said like,
Me and you.
"Hey, could
Let's
you
go.
guys please
What?
leave?"
All you can eat buffet.
And we were just
No.
like,
I'm
why is like
trying to watch the
you've
figure
eaten
now.
way too much, which is, like that threw us off.
That's
I feel like that's an
hilarious.
accomplishment.
Yeah,
If you walk into an all-you-can-eat buffet and they kick you out because you eat too much food, you win.
that's like a
You need a trophy.
check mark.
or so,
Yeah,
or
that's
free
a check
t-shirt
mark
or
off like the
something.
bucket list or something.
You can put that on a
This
resume.
was, by the way, this was back when I was in my prime for eating, and I didn't gain like 20 pounds every bite.
This is
So-
just like the mini game thing you were talking about. You ate so much food that you won the mini game at the buffet.
Yes.
But yeah, we all got asked to leave.
How long were you there though? Like, were you there?
Probably an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I'm
Yeah,
imagining
so
like
maybe.
Yeah. And we were constantly eating though. We weren't just like there were no just
to
sit
see
there.
I'm imagining this as like a cutscene, and then all of a sudden the Xbox logo accomplishment unlocked.
Oh yeah, achievement.
Achievement.
But
yep.
15
So-
gamer points.
So as long as you're still eating there, right? Like
I was
you're,
still
you're,
eating.
You're still
We constantly had
eating
food
for
and
what
we
you
were
paid
constantly
for.
eating.
So
yeah, I mean, if you're still eating,
like,
I mean,
they
technically,
can't kick you out for being there too long.
I mean, between
Was
the
this
four
pre-
of us there,
was this
I think we had
pre-COVID?
like 40 or
I was
50
gonna say,
plates
unless
worth.
the only thing I
way
can think
before
of is
pre-COVID.
It was huge. Like
COVID
we each had
wasn't
like
even
10
exist.
plates.
He was in college.
well, I
still,
gotta
so.
ask because I guess up
So-
in Minnesota there was a limit. You could only be seated at a restaurant for an hour before they kick you out during COVID.
Takes 45
Oh.
minutes to get your food.
Yeah, so like you could only be seated for an hour. They kick you out because they could be at half capacity. They needed more people. So like up in the cities, I guess my uncle was telling me that they had an hour-long limit at tables. You couldn't be there for longer than an hour.
well, and that's what I was gonna wonder. Like, did they have like so many reservations that you guys were just?
No, the place was generally like
I mean, how many people
not that busy.
get a reservation where they would kick you out from an all-you-can-eat buffet?
I'm trying to come up with something here.
I'm trying to come up with other than time. Like, if he was there for 2 hours, then maybe
And
that might be.
we were
pushing
there
it.
towards the end of the day as well.
Oh,
They just wanted to leave.
They just wanted to go home. That's all this
But
was.
Why
we
still-
still had an hour and a
please
half
let us
before they
go.
closed.
That would
You
make
got-
sense if
you-
you're coming up to the time limit. Like, get out of
But
here.
no, it was
please.
still an hour
I
and a
know
half
that
before
feeling.
they closed when they
I
asked
know
us to
that
leave.
feeling.
Yeah.
I can just see like the conversation. Okay, guys,
Now,
we
if it
got
was
these
like
guys here. We need to get them out.
I worked
How
at
are
a
we
pizza
gonna do
place
this?
back in
How
the
are we gonna
day.
do that?
now if this was like half an
When it
hour,
got to
45
closing, we
minutes
locked the
to
doors,
close,
and people
I
like
could
still
get
showed
that.
up. When I just like
We still had an hour and a half.
get out. No, we're closed. Sorry.
We still had a full hour and a half before they closed.
Weston is salty.
I am a
Maybe
I'm
they
a
want to
little
get home.
salty,
Maybe
okay?
maybe they
How
want to
many
get
years
home to
ago
their
was this,
families.
Weston?
This was like almost a decade ago.
I think you need to get over it.
I'll never get over this one.
Honestly, that might be one of the best stories. That's
Got
pretty
kicked
great.
out of all you can eat buffet.
That's like for me
Takes talent.
personally, that might be up there with the old lady calling me fat at the baseball game.
No. Huge.
No. You're
Huge.
That
Huge.
will always
Huge.
that will
Get it
always
straight,
triumph-
Jordan.
triumph. Unless you go to an all you can eat buffet and they say you huge man get out now, then that will.
Well, that will
Trump it.
top it then.
That will top it.
Obviously, will go above it.
They see
no,
Jordan
that-
walk in. We don't serve your kind.
Ouch.
We have a weight limit, sir.
they have him stand on a scale as he walks in. That's how much food you can have.
They'll just be like, hey, you know what? Go to the heart attack grill.
It's
fatty.
like
That's
it's
where-
like an elevator weight limit, and it has the buzzer. And it just buzzes when you
I
step
step on the
through the
scale.
door.
Just, it just ejects me out of the building.
The doors
Spring-loaded
just close.
platform.
Please leave.
They just like a spring-loaded platform just launches me out back
No,
to my car.
not launch. It's a weighted trapdoor that needs so much to trip, and you step on it, and then you're just gone.
Fall into a pit of alligators.
Sure.
I don't.
Why would you wanna
Okay, I
die?
don't know.
Why do you want to die?
So,
Why
for
alligators?
the record, Dan, what were some
Yeah.
of your experiences getting away from?
Probably just the worst one. This was like mid-COVID, later COVID, so
Oh, everything sucked.
we were coming back. I think we were coming back from like Colorado or something. But this one diner, I guess, we stopped there, and it was the worst service I've ever had in my life at a restaurant. It was terrible. We walk in, and it's like one of those diners that has a little store, in the front, and that's where the cash register is and whatever.
Kind of like Cracker Barrel.
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay.
Ooh,
But,
I like Cracker Barrel now.
We waited for like 15 minutes for someone to come over, like a waitress, to just grab us, says wait and be seated, because it's obviously COVID and everything too.
Yeah.
And there's literally like two old couples in this huge building. That's it. And all of the waitresses kind of, besides like one, looked like high schoolers. So you know it's probably going to be bad. But
That goes to my story, so.
So it finally came and got us, and we sat down, and it took like another 5 minutes for them to come back to get our order, and it took over an hour for us to get our food, and it was cold when we got it. Like, some of it was cold.
That's the worst.
And by the way, like none of the, like everything was dirty. Like nothing was cleaned off. This is like mid-COVID, right? Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like,
Where was this at?
This is Minnesota somewhere. I can't remember.
Okay, so that's really weird because Minnesota was like way stricter than Iowa and everything. So.
Yeah, but I don't know. And they were like, we were waiting. We were out of water and all the stuff. We were waiting. We needed stuff. We needed to-go plates to leave. And they were just literally like throwing around rags at each other and stuff. They were like messing around and playing around and stuff. Like spraying each other with water.
Kind of like how you sprayed me with the compressed air.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. What is this?
What's going
What
on,
are these
Jordan?
lies that are coming out of your mouth?
What happened?
They're cold, hard facts.
But it was so stupid. There you go, Tim. But
Oh. I
And,
fell asleep for a second.
no, so we finally, after like 2 hours of this terrible experience, like go to pay, and no one's there to help us pay.
You should have just walked out.
And then finally, after like 10 minutes of standing there, some waitress, not herself, grabs one of the newest girls and comes up and says, "Here, you do this. I'm going to show you how to do it." She just tells her and leaves. And this girl like struggles
Just flustered
for
or
like
what?
10 minutes. She doesn't know how to do the stuff. Like, I felt really bad for her.
Yeah.
That's when you just place
And I'm
$100
like,
bill and
wow,
say, "Here you go."
we're not going to go back there ever again.
Yeah. I
It
don't
was
blame
so
you.
bad.
I've had one of those experiences, and that's where I got my $15 meal bumped down to a $3 meal.
Wow.
$1 meal,
Yeah.
not bad. Dude.
I only got paid for my drink.
80%
I got
off.
out of there.
That's pretty good. There was one time, just a couple weeks ago, I went and got a whole bunch of wings at one of the restaurants downtown, and I had it for an order to go. And this isn't like a bad story, but it's just going back to kind of like incompetent waiters and waitresses or whatever. The lady handed me my food and then like turned around and started to walk away. And I was sitting there with my credit card like, I haven't paid yet. Like if I wanted to told her I still needed to pay, I would have just been able to walk out of there with $45 worth of wings. Which, I mean...
All for himself, by the way.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say that's probably all,
All
for you.
for himself.
No, all right, so I got 2 orders for me and 1 order for my dad.
Lies.
All for
lies,
himself.
All for
lies,
himself.
All for
lies,
himself. Let's be
lies.
real.
We're going to ask Tracy if he had any wings recently, and he's going to be like, nope.
Well, no, because he got chicken nuggets, but I got wings.
Oh, you see, now he's trying to make excuses for
yep.
himself. Out.
So you're saying
He
you
said
wouldn't eat those chicken nuggets?
he said he got 45 wings and chicken nuggets. Just remember that.
Well, I got... So my dad got a pound... My dad got a pound of boneless, and then I had 20... I got 2 orders of 12 of the bone-in. So I had 24.
Can we just clip that when you refer to them as boneless?
Well, that's what they're called on the menu. I can't change that.
Yeah, I thought they were saucy nugs.
They are
I thought-
saucy nugs.
Yeah, but
they're-
you said boneless.
It's happened.
They're
You heard it here,
But you
guys.
Guys,
said
you heard
boneless.
it.
They're
He
boneless.
has acknowledged
They're
them as
boneless.
boneless. They are
You
wings.
heard it here.
He has acknowledged it.
Boneless
Even
wings.
though technically they're
1
not.
pound of boneless
Your bone-in
wings.
wings aren't even wings because they're separated. The flat and the drum should be together,
But they're still part of a wing.
but they're not.
They're not.
They're pieces,
Of a wing.
but they're not wings. They're
They are
pieces.
not wings.
Pieces of what, Daniel?
Pieces.
Of wings.
Of
Chicken flesh.
Yeah, of chicken that has a bone in it. Or bones.
Guess what? The boneless are pieces of chicken flesh.
They're all
Same
chicken.
thing.
Okay, so Nick, do you want to... Should we move on?
Yeah.